Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Monday. You know what time it is. It's tea time. This week is a very special episode. It's my 123rd episode. What better place to do it on than one of my favorite places, 123 Pleasant Street. 123 has an incredible history behind it. From back in the 80s when it was the Underground Railroad, to the 90s when it was the Nyabinghi Dance Hall, to the late 90s, and now as 123 Pleasant Street. I've spent about 30 years of my life in that building, from playing shows to working there to hanging out there just to meeting tons of people and seeing tons of great bands. And alongside of that, I have a lot of t-shirts from the venue. So we're gonna get to it. This was one of the first designs they came up with when we opened 123. A great picture of the front of the buildings, the brick row. So you can tell this is an old 90s shirt because it's on a Hanes Beefy tee, and the print is like really, really thick and cracking, but still, it's a cool shirt. Years later, we got another version of the front of the building design. This is one of my favorite graphics done. This was done by my tattoo artist, Seas One. He did this for the bar a long time ago. It's a great tattoo flash piece. This was the first version of it. I think we had a bunch of different colors. I got this one, navy shirt with the gold version of it on there. Another version. This one's my favorite because it's huge. It's on a black shirt with the gray ink. I really, really dig it how this one came out, and I love it. And another smaller version of it, a little bit different. When I got this, I think this one came out before the other one, and I liked it even though it was kind of small. I was hoping it was bigger, and then I got the bigger version. Here's a newer version of one of the logos. I always like this one with the state, with the brick row buildings in front of it. I've got a couple different ones of these. And of course, I've got another version of the state and the building logo. A little bit smaller. I like the cream ink on the black shirt. Pretty cool. Makes it pop really nice. One year for Christmas they gave us these hoodies. These are really neat. It's a little version of the brick row on the front. On the back, you got another big version of the state with the brick row buildings on it. On this next one, there's not very many of these out. My buddy Jeff Ryan, he's one of our regulars down at the bar, one of our Chico's bail bondsmen that I play softball with. He printed these up. This was a really cool design he came up with. I like this one. I don't think we ever put this one into mass production, but I like the circle and the bubbly 123. It's very different. I always tell everybody that comes through, New York always had CBGBs. Morgantown has always had 123, Underground, Nyabinghi. Kind of like Morgantown's version. We've had huge bands play through here. Back in the 80s, we had Black Flag, you had Bo Diddley, you had the Dead Kennedys, you had the Red Hot Chili Peppers. There's been tons of great bands that have come through. Over the years, we've had the Wailers, we've had Bernie Worrell, we've had Clutch, we've had Sick of It All, we've had Quicksand. Tons and tons and tons of bands. A few years ago, we got a new piece of artwork in the upper bar. It was done by a collaboration of two local artists, Butch Lee and my friend Keith McManus. Butch did the design for the Nyabinghi Dance Hall sign, which we still have and we proudly display inside the dance hall section of the bar. Also, which I have the little Nyabinghi dancers tattooed around my wrist I got a couple years ago. Our friend Keith had taken Butch's artwork and he has made a huge iron sculpture that we display behind the upper bar. It takes up the entire length of the bar. It is a very, very cool sculpture. So after they did that, they'd come up with these t-shirt designs with that artwork on it, which is really cool. Old and the new. We got another Christmas present one year. We got the hoodie version of that design. Very cool. This is a very lightweight hoodie, but it's really warm and it's really soft. I really dig this one. Back in 2013, we had an Underground Railroad reunion. We had bands from the time frame when the Underground was open back from the 80s that all got back together and played. We had bands like Velez Manifesto, Small Axe, Rasta Rafiki, 63 Eyes, all the huge local bands from the time. It was an incredible show, an incredible weekend, and we got some cool shirts from that from our friend DL. She made some shirts for the show and they were really, really cool. This one is one of the old, the original Underground Railroad logo. I believe that they had t-shirts for this back in the day, but I really dig this one. It's got, aside from the logo, it's also got the homage to Marcia Ferber, who ran the Underground Railroad, who disappeared from the bar back in the 80s and was never seen again. There's a really cool podcast on it called I Was Never There. If you get the time, check it out. Very, very well done, and you'll learn a lot of history about the bar. And also from that show, we had another one done. I really like this one. It's got Harriet Tubman on the front of it. Back in the underground days, there was a portrait of Harriet Tubman painted behind the stage. Currently we have a new one in lower bar. And on the back of the shirt, it's got another original Underground Railroad t-shirt design from back in the day. Very cool. And again at the bottom, tribute to Marcia Ferber with May 24th, 2013. I believe that was also the 25th anniversary of Marcia's disappearance, if I'm correct. And this is the last one I got. I got this hoodie this winter. It's got the old design on the front and the Chico's orange. And then on the back, we've got Chico orange, the state and the building logo. And that's all that I've got of them so far. I've got a couple of hats, I've got a couple of patches, and that's my collection from Pleasant Street. I've spent many, many years in that building, and I hope to spend many, many more. Hell, I've even got the front of the buildings tattooed on my arm. Like I said, it's one of my favorite places in the world, one of the places I've met some of the best friends ever, and I've seen some of the greatest bands ever, big and small. It doesn't matter, you get to see them, and if you've ever been there, you know what I'm talking about. If you've never been there, get yourself out one night, go down and catch a show, and it's full of rich musical history and local history. So go check it out. Till next week, guys, thanks. I'll catch you again next Monday with another one. Take it easy.